There we go. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Today is October 11th, and it is our joint, although I'm here representing the rest of the team. So we've got a few busy schedules right now, so they're not able to hop on just yet. But hopefully soon we'll be growing even larger. But I'm representing Firefly Nation, which is my team, and you guys are all part of Claire's team, which is Passion Fit Dynasty. So I'm happy to see your smiling faces. Tonight's topic is something that I admittedly ignored for the first few months of my business. Not my proudest moment, but I'm owning it because I turned that around. So I'm really excited to talk about personal development tonight and hear from you guys what you've been reading and what you've taken away from it. In true Nicole fashion, I have my notes on my phone, so I promise I'm not multitasking. But when I listen to my personal development in the car, I use Siri to capture notes in my note app. So that's just me. So I was hoping, and Claire, let me know how you feel about this, but I was hoping that we could kind of have a round robin call tonight and feel casual about it. Claire and I don't want to spend the entire time talking because we're really interested to hear what you guys have been reading and hopefully learn a few things from each other, just because I know we're not all reading the same book. So I think it'll be really interesting. Also, I came prepared with a couple of personal development recommendations for you guys if you're looking for something to read. So let's cover that at the end so that we don't chew up too much of our 40 minutes talking about those books.
Yeah, excellent. I agree.
Cool. So I can kick us off if you guys want. Let me just pull up my notes.
Sure. Actually, why don't you do that, Nicole? I just wanted to do a really brief team shout-outs real quick.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll start to do that regularly too. But I wanted to shout out Loretta, who has been busting her butt like insane this fall. Girlfriend is busier than bat right now, and I'm just wanting to say I'm so proud of you for jumping on this week, even after coming from junior retreat last week. But I need to say, as a team, Girlfriend is running her first full marathon on Saturday, and I'm exploding with so much excitement for you. You might be dreading it, but I'm so proud of you. So just wanted to say I'm so proud of you. I think we all are. So, and in addition to Loretta, I want to shout out Julie, who just signed up, your first person on Dave's account, right?
Awesome.
Yeah, so Girlfriend is literally 3 coaches away from Diamond as we speak.
Congrats, Julie.
So, huge moment. So I wanted to call you guys out.
That's awesome. Way to go, guys, and good luck, Loretta. I do not envy you, but I'm very proud. So I don't know if you guys have done this new iOS update, but it's a real pain when you're trying to get into your phone. Okay, so the book I'm currently listening to, which admittedly is taking me a little bit longer than I would like to share in Audible, is Eat That Frog. So it's like a 3-hour audiobook, but I've been reading a few different books like at home, the paper copies. So I just have listened to Eat That Frog in the car on my way to work, and I try to listen to the wake-up calls and things off days. So it's taking a little bit longer than I hoped, but a few of the things that this week I thought would be helpful to share with you guys is in regards to visualizing the person you want to become in the future. So this book talks a lot about, and I think I shared this last week for those of you that were on the call, but talks a lot about getting your least favorite activities done first thing in the morning. So you're kind of eating that frog, getting it out of the way, and you're not dreading it all day long. That's not what I'm here to talk about when I'm talking about this book, because I think we can all realize that that's really important, and any of us dread doing our workout if we don't get it done first thing in the morning, I'm sure. So really just wanted to talk about the visualization and the person you'll become in the future. So he talks about 7 steps to goal setting, and I am going to read directly from my phone, so apologies for not making eye contact. But he talked about step number 1 being deciding exactly what you want and being clear about your goals. Step number 2, writing it down, thinking it out on paper. Unwritten goals are just fantasies, so write out what you want and go after it. Step number 3, and I can type these out if you guys want and put them, Claire can post them in the team page. Step number 3, setting a deadline for your goal. Otherwise, it has no urgency and you will procrastinate. These are kind of my own words just because I'm a little bit aggressive about this. Step number 4, make a list of what it will take you to reach your goal. Step number 5, organizing your list into a plan by priority and sequence. Step number 6, taking action on your plan immediately, so doing something. And this is the thing that I struggle with, so I'm really good about visualizing my future and writing out the steps that it's going to take to get me there and talking about my plan, but actually doing something and putting it into effect immediately is something I struggle with. So this is definitely something I need to work on, which is why I think I want to talk about this to you guys tonight so that I can be held accountable to this. And step number 7, doing something every single day that moves you towards this goal. So recognizing that your daily actions are something that's going to get you closer to where you want to be in the future, and actually believing that you can get there. Even though you may not see success right away, you will over time as long as you're consistent. I think that we think about this a lot of the time in our physical appearance through fitness and nutrition, but this is so important in our businesses as well. So actually taking those daily steps, the vital behaviors, connecting with people, not just on Facebook, not just at work, when you're out in public and sharing your journey with them as well, and just being consistent every single day and staying true to your goals is something that we all need to focus on, regardless of where we're at in our business. Whether you're a new coach, whether you're Emerald, whether you're Superstar Diamond, you have to stay consistent to those things. So just wanted to share those steps with you guys because I think it's very easy to forget that you actually need to follow a process rather than just, knowing that you need to act, right? So definitely something I'd encourage you guys to think about and something I wouldn't have thought about had I not delved into that personal development topic. So that's mine in a nutshell.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Danielle. It's making me really want to go back and spend more time on Eat That Frog because I was the opposite. I went through it too fast.
I will say Eat That Frog, so I recommend reading it. The guy's voice is like a drone. It's so miserable, inaudible, which I think is why I've kind of just listened to 20 minutes here and there over time. I'd buy the book. I think it's like $6 or something.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Well, since I can talk too much, I'm gonna volunteer one of my coaches to go first, and I'll unmute you, and then maybe we'll end with me. So raise your hand and I'll unmute you, and we'll start with one of you. Okay, Julie, great. All right, take it away, girlfriend.
Might as well bite the bullet and go.
Yeah.
So I like everybody else kind of pushes PD to the side because honestly, when Claire first told me that I had to do this, I was like, that is the absolute dumbest thing in the world. And I literally was like, sure, that's great. Yeah, I'll read lots of things. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Not happening. So I started out actually listening to this podcast called Confidence on the Go that I really like. She was a really good speaker. But then I just kind of got with it. And then I started listening to National Wake Up Calls. And I haven't done You're a Badass yet, but I've heard it's great. But I bought this book the other day. It's called Unglued. And I kind of felt like it related to me because I'm slightly crazy. And I grew up in that kind of big Italian household that was like, when you needed to make a point, you just got louder than everybody else. And you get angry really quick and then you calm down really quick. And that's not normal life things. So I figured I would get this book. And I, so far, absolutely love it. So the girl talks about how she got in this whole argument in the first chapter of the book about her kids using her towels, and she snapped at her kids because she couldn't find any bath towels and had to use a hand towel. And then it just goes into like making, just like talking about making progress. And she uses this phrase called imperfect progress, which I really like. And so it said, what kept me from making changes was the feeling that I wouldn't do it perfectly. I knew I'd still mess up and the changes wouldn't come instantly. Sometimes we think that if we don't make instant progress, that real change isn't coming, but that's not so. There's a beautiful reality called imperfect progress. The day I realized the glorious hope of this kind of imperfect change is the day I gave myself permission to believe I really could be different. And that kind of like hit me because so many of us think about that, whether we're coaching or just challengers, like after 1 month of doing something, like nothing's changed. I didn't sign anybody up. I didn't lose any weight. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. But it's like, just kind of like what Nicole was just saying, you need to be consistent with anything that you do because progress isn't going to happen like that. Like there's nothing that you're getting. There's no instant gratification in anything that really is worth working for. Like you're never going to get that. But I just kind of like that because you know, there are days that I don't do PD and there are days that I miss my power hour or miss a workout or eat too many slices of pizza for dinner or whatever. But it's just so important to like see it and understand that you need to like keep working towards your goals and one slip up shouldn't throw you off forever. And that if you keep working towards what you want, that you're going to get it. And you can't give up because it will eventually come. Thanks. I like those snaps.
I don't know about anyone else, but I feel like I totally got chills like listening to you talk, Julie. I just thought that was like, seriously, like this is how I know that you've been a coach for so long and you've personally transformed, whether you've plugged into a lot of PD or not. You've grown so much as a leader. And you're going to be leading these calls soon. I mean, that was incredible. I loved it. And honestly, I was taking notes because I feel like I need imperfect progress, like on my wall right now. I love that. So.
Right. It's like the perfect little phrase because that's like what everything is. Mm-hmm. Nothing will ever be perfect.
100%. Love it. Thank you so much.
Of course.
All right. Elizabeth or Loretta, who's next? Oh, I'm going to go with Elizabeth. Sorry. I know it's hard with everyone muted. All right. Okay, Elizabeth, take it away.
Okay, so right now I don't really have too much to say because I just started the You Are a Badass book. But, I mean, just the way, honestly, I've only gotten to probably like the second page of part 1 where so but just in the introduction of where I've gotten just where I got in the introduction, I think this is actually going to be like a pretty good book because what I'm struggling with most is self-doubt. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's a lot of like the way that she talks in the book, it just seems like it's going to be pretty helpful. So, I mean, I don't really have much to say about it right now, but I'm sure once I get further in I don't even remember anything that like stuck out particularly, but I just know that it should be a pretty good read.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, anyone who's read that book has read it more than once. I think I'm on my third time. It's mostly, so I'll be honest with you, it convinces you that you truly are a badass. But mostly it's comical. Like she has a way of spinning it to make sure that you understand.
Yeah, and that's how it catches my attention because I can't read something and just be like, okay, like I need to relate it to something. So like a lot of the things that she's even said so far, I've like taken it and I'm like, oh, okay, like I can relate to that, and I've had that happen to me. So
yeah.
Sorry, guys. No, I mean, I just want to say, Elizabeth, I'm proud of you for even taking the time to invest in a book. I was so excited when you posted your pictures of your new books. And, I think all of us are so busy. So, I mean, even with Julie, what you said, like when you became a new coach and you're like personal development, like poo, like, I mean, it's kind of like because once you become a challenger, you're like, okay, I have to work out meal plan. When you become a coach, you're like, oh shit, now I have to run a business. And then, oh my God, I have to make time for myself for this personal development stuff. So to me, I feel like you're already just taking that step in the direction of making that time for yourself. And the only reason like Nicole and I plug the shit out of Audible is only because it makes it so much easier to get it in, or doing like podcasts like Julie was talking about. And Elizabeth, you said you're already doing some of them anyways, which is great.
Yeah, every now and then I'll listen to the National Wake Up Call, but I'll have to see if I can find where do you find it on Audible anyways? Just go on like Amazon or something?
Yeah.
I think you can type in audible.com. It is an Amazon company. Your first month is free, and then after that it's $14.95, which I think you can write it off as a business expense for your taxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do that, raise the roof.
100% plan on doing, because it is. So. All right. Well, thanks, Elizabeth. Good luck with that. I think you'll really love it. Like I said,
I'll keep you guys posted.
Yeah. I mean, I'm right there with Nicole. I'm definitely on my third time. And you're cute, baby. All right. All right, Loretta.
Okay.
Take it away.
So I'm going to try not to spoil Badass for you, that Elizabeth, since you just started reading it. But one of there's a lot of favorite parts, and I kind of marked them all off. I bent the pages. Hold on. I just had it. So she talks about, it's like around like page 45. It's the big snooze, and it's talking about the idea. Please, I hope I'm in the right place. I've marked a million different places. Anyways, I'll just sum up the entire book that I've read so far. But she talks about the idea that, to not wait until it's too late for stuff to happen. Don't keep up in your mind, I can't wait for this to happen, but you're not going to do anything for that. For example, I really want to get to this point in my coaching. I really want to get to this point in my career. I want to get to this point in my fitness. But it's okay, you can want it all you want, but if you're just going to sit on your butt and not do anything, then it's not going to magically just poof, there it is. But I really like how blunt she is, and how she talks about that it's really all in our head at the end of the day. When she says the big snooze will do everything it can to stop you from changing and growing, especially since you're attempting to obliterate the very identity that everyone else has come to know as you. So just the idea that stop pressing the snooze button on life. And I'm definitely someone who, not just in coaching, but in life in general, I'll get this mindset of oh, I can't wait to do this. I really want to do this. I'm not doing anything to do it, and I'm pressing the snooze button. And I think now, since really graduating college, I've really tried to not do the pressing the snooze button, but I still give in to that whole idea. And I really like how blunt she is, how she's just so if you finally decide to quit your soul-crushing job and start the pastry shop of your dreams, how she's just it's really simple. You just have to stop doing what you're doing and do what you want. And I definitely, I was in jobs in the past I didn't like, and now I'm in a job I do like. And with coaching, there's things I want, and it scares me, but I know I just kind of have to close my eyes and throw the alarm clock across the room and just do it already. Even with my marathon, I wanted to do one for a while, and I was no, that's horrifying. And now I'm well, okay, 4 days. And then I think my other favorite part, and this is something I needed to hear, and I actually was just reading it this morning. It's chapter 11. It's your brain is your bitch. That's some aggressive wording, but that's what gets through to me. And I just love that she says your thoughts are the most powerful thing. How if you think it, it's going to happen, because the reality that some of us humans fall into, and I need to tell this to my students tomorrow, is that we have a tendency to not believe it it until we do see it, until we see that change happening, but physically, mentally, we're not going to understand it until it's happening. Like, we have evidence. But she's like, if you want something, you just have to think it and you have to believe it, and then it's the truth. Like, that's the crazy thing about your mind. If you believe it, it is the truth. It's not non-existent, if that makes sense. Because she even like says, man, what did she say? She's like talking about her friend who was a poet and a waitress and wanted to buy a house in this expensive neighborhood, and she made goals and she believed that she could do it, and she did it. Like, I love how blunt she is. She even says, the moment you have the audacity to start believing in the non-yet seen, your reality will begin to shift. And I definitely noticed that in a lot of things. I mean, definitely since college, just my life, how I wanted stuff and I got it. And I just had to kind of believe it and just close my eyes and like let it kind of fall into place. Because she even says in the book, like, things are going to go to like shit in the handbasket before they like actually start to like, you know, good things start to happen. And I've definitely have felt that the past couple weeks. Like, things were kind of going down south, but I moved out. My marathon's coming up. School, I kind of feel like I have control at school. But definitely that idea that it's like, it's so mental. I think that's what I'm struggling with, especially with like the self-doubt. It's all mental. I just have to kind of like mentally tell myself to shut up and move on. So
I feel like, your post has been like so great. I've been following you on Facebook, and I can totally tell that you're using that book in your post. So good job.
Like, your one this morning, I feel like actually every post you've had this week, like, it's like an oh shit moment. I love it. No, thank you so much, Loretta. I feel like you just had Energize or something before this call, because you are fired the F up right now. And I was like, damn, girl is on fire. I love it.
Yeah, this book is, I wish I could have all my students read it, but might be frowned upon.
Some might not love that.
I'll get years when I graduate and be like, I'm not your teacher anymore. So here.
Right. Oh, well, thank you so much. And I think we can all agree to all those awesome sentiments. And Elizabeth, that's more stuff for you, more nuggets for you to look forward to.
Yeah, this book is clutch.
It's so good. I have the hard copy and I've listened to it 3 times. And like, one of these days, I just want to like go back and just comb through it and just write down everything.
Yeah, and daring greatly. That's probably still, but I'm not done with this one yet. So this could be the new favorite.
Great. Awesome. Oh, well, so good. Thank you so much. So I guess I'll jump into mine real quick, which, you know, kind of actually, it's very similar points, Loretta. So I'm going to kind of overlap a little bit. But you guys have I've kind of hinted at this I probably talked about a little bit on our calls and in our team page, but I'm listening to Joel Osteen's The Power of I Am right now. It's you know, if you guys know Joel, I vaguely knew of Joel, but yeah, he's like obviously a huge religious figure. And I consider myself religious. I don't necessarily go to church every week, but now I want to after listening to him. So I don't want to be like super preachy at you guys. That's why I did. And his style, he tells, you know, kind of proverbs and shares some experiences of church members and things like that. So I don't want to come on here and be super preachy to you guys, but I definitely want to take away some things that have just really hit the F home. I guess he wouldn't say that, but I will. Because I like all of us. I knew for me, and this, you know, should kind of go across the board, guys, whatever you are struggling with, that needs to be the PD that you are listening to. Because I think as new coaches, I think Nicole and I can both speak to this. When we were new coaches, literally I was like grabbing pies in the skies of like, oh, I'll listen to this today. I'll listen to this today. Like, oh, someone or Danielle dropped this video in the group. I'll listen to that, or I'll listen to the new wake up call. Like grab. But that doesn't necessarily, like, I think it's so much different when you actually invest your time to either read a book or listen to like a book on Audible or whatever, like actually invest in something that's really helping something that you're struggling with is going to change the game completely. Trust me. So I really realized like I had to sit myself down. I've been back from the wedding for a while and the honeymoon, all of that, but here I am, and I'm still kind of like, I was waiting in the waters, and I was like, you know what? Despite feeling like, I'm in charge and doing all these things, and Nicole and I are fired up with our business plans and all that, I know that in the core of me, the very core of me, I struggle with self-doubt, like literally rips me apart. And I was like, I need something that attacks the living shit out of that. And for some reason, something said, let's try Joel. I didn't even know, like, I don't even like read the full description. I don't even always do a sample. I kind of just like jump into it, like blindly, like, all right, let's go. And I literally have just been floored with it. And that's why I know I kept recommending it to you, Loretta, because it's very similar to Daring Greatly. It's just kind of like almost a religious version of Daring Greatly. But basically the premise of what he's talking about is the same thing of like, you are your thoughts. If you say, I am fat, I am overweight, I am broke, I am sick, I am stupid, I am unsuccessful, I'm drowning in debt, I can't help my challengers, I can't grow a business, I barely made $100 this week, how am I going to make it next week, like blah, 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 blah. And he basically talks about, you have to believe in yourself. And even if the belief isn't there, you have to say positive and nice things to yourself. Like you have to say, I am a business owner. I am a coach. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am my goal weight. I am fit. I am healthy. I am helpful. I am creative. Like basically I've started, and if any of you guys follow Nicole, who is it? It's Tara. Do you know the coach I'm talking about?
I can't pronounce her last name, but is it like a B?
I think so. She's the military spouse who talks about her Fruit Loops story about like she goes all over
Dialect or something.
I think so.
Yeah.
So she talks, and I wonder if it comes from Joel, but basically it's like almost like doing positive self-affirmations, but it doesn't just stop there. Like, and I've almost thought about literally doing this in my office, of doing what Tara did. And now I know why she did, because you need to constantly flood your mind with I can and I wills. And so like literally I've started doing this, like if I'm at work or I'm getting dressed for work, because like right now, like I'm not at my goal weight. Like this time last year I basically was, and I'm not. And it's frustrating and it sucks and I beat myself up about it. But I tell myself, I am strong. I am beautiful. I am sexy. I am my goal weight. I am working really hard. I am productive. And like literally anytime like a negative thought comes in, I'm squashing it. And that's what I'm telling myself. And it needs to be, this is kind of a personal thing about like my weight and stuff like that, but it needs to be about everything, about like, we're all here to be coaches. We're all here to help people. But it needs to be about that too. And it's just literally so crazy. I feel like, if we do talk about the religious aspect here, it's like divine intervention. He's talked about real, like the things he's preached about are like about friendships and family. I'm like, oh my God, it's like literally going on in my life right now. But he's talked about like, if you're a business owner, my ears perk up. I'm like, are you talking to me, Joel? I'm pretty sure you just are talking to me. Like it's literally crazy how I just randomly decided to try out this book, and it's hitting it out of the park. So I'm just obsessed with it. But yeah, just literally it's basically talking about you have to believe in it, even if it's not true, even if you don't believe an ounce of what you're saying, even if it hasn't happened to you yet, you have to trust that if that's what you want, that it will happen. And I love what he talks about, being content where you are. And this is kind of like almost like what you alluded to Loretta, with you are a badass, is like, even if you're not where you are at yet, be proud and thankful for where you are. Be proud that even if you aren't at your goal weight, even if you haven't hit emerald or diamond, or making the money that you want to make, or the money that you want to save, or helping the number of people that you want to help, or growing the team that you want to grow. It doesn't matter. Just being thankful and grateful for where you are right now in this moment, because, I mean, Joel would say God has a plan, but because there is a plan for you, whether you believe or not doesn't really matter. Just means there is a plan for you to go from A to B, but you're only going to slow yourself down if you say, I suck. I am unproductive. I am unworthy. No one wants my help. No one believes in me. Blah, 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 blah. And even if that's true in some stupid way, I would doubt it for any one of us on this call. Sorry, my dog's being annoying. You have to tell yourself the complete opposite. Sorry. Oh, gosh, this dog. Sorry. And so be thankful for where you're at. Be thankful for the struggles that you're having right now, and look for the things that are going well. And, you know, even if you make a mistake, he even say, you know what, thank you for this opportunity to learn. Like, I won't do it next time, you know, and it's kind of like what Cole and I were talking about before this call tonight. So, I mean, I never really realized how much I needed to really go back to basics with personal development here and just literally flood my mind with this stuff. And it's kind of funny because they talk about, I feel like the more personal development you do, the more you realize there are common themes in almost all of these books. Even if it's just like a one little thing here and there, but even when I heard you talking to Nicole, I'm like, wow, like I've heard that in other books. But like listening to Joel right now, I'm like, wow, I've heard these themes in all these other books, but it's like all of a sudden becoming real with what I'm listening to right now. So that's where I think it comes down to the power of really investing yourself in your personal development with what you're struggling with, because that'll really be a game changer. And I know when Nicole and I first started working together, we both listened to The Compound Effect, and it was like huge. I need to go back and re-listen to it, honestly, now it's been a while, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. That was a game changer for me. And it pulls all aspects of this business together.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of relates back to those goals I was just talking about, how to set a goal and the power of consistency and all that stuff. It's just, I mean, I feel like every book is just so life-changing. And yeah. I am the girl, literally, that used to hate reading. I really don't even, I think I posted about this the other day. I don't know what that means, to hate reading. That's kind of weird to say. But honestly, like now, I have a stack of books on my desk right here. Like I just am like fueled by it. It's crazy how your mind can shift.
I love that. Well, listen, I'm going to go back and unmute everybody so we can kind of all chat now. But I think Nicole and I wanted to share a little bit of some of the books that we recommend for different things. And if you guys have any other recommendations too, of things that have really worked well for you too. I know I've been taking notes from what everyone else is saying, because I think it's really awesome to hear everyone's different perspectives.
So I can share a really good one that I finished a couple of months ago, The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. It's fantastic. So I've been in this business for about 20 months, and it's gone like this the entire time. I've achieved rank and I've lost rank, and I've achieved rank and I've lost rank. The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster explains how that's normal, and it's okay to be discouraged, and it's okay to be really elated when something great happens, but knowing when something great happens that you're really setting, this is terrible to say, you're really setting yourself up for failure at the same time, because you're so on cloud nine and you know that you can't stay there unless you keep setting higher goals, and in order to set higher goals, you're going to have to fail at some point. So keeping that at bay. So that's a really great one. This is one of my favorites right now. It's Pretty Happy by Kate Hudson.
I just put that in my cart on Audible.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great. So essentially, like, what the message is that you don't have to be perfect, and that pretty happy is pretty awesome. So kind of just making sure that you're going back to basics and being happy with yourself, and in being happy with yourself, good things will come your way. She does actually talk quite a bit about what she's done nutrition and fitness wise in the book, but it's more of a a good feels book, which is a light read, and I don't know, I really enjoy her, so I think she's a good writer as well. And the only other one that I'll share, so I have like a list, but the only other one I want to comment on is a book called I Am That Girl. So I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's a play off of the book Claire just spoke about. But it's like the non-religious comedy version of that. So essentially just owning who you are and not giving a crap what anyone thinks. So if you are a badass, but like a few notches down, and kind of figuring out your purpose while developing that you are a badass type feeling. So really quick read, and really comical book.
That's definitely on my list too.
Yep. The other book that I got too.
You got
yes,
it?
I saw that. Oh,
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's my quote it all the time.
The badass one.
Yeah. So a couple, I'm just going to rattle through my list real quick too of ones that I've listened to that I love, but I'm going to highlight Daring Greatly. I wish I had listened to that as a new coach. I know that was Loretta's probably first kickoff into coaching, and you had an amazing transformation both during and after Daring Greatly. But Daring Greatly, Brene Brown is a PhD in social work who was really interested in well, she's just really interested in, I guess it wasn't exactly self-doubt, but just fears. So Daring Greatly is amazing for that. So Daring Greatly, Compound Effect, Eat That Frog. These are all like really great ones. I think Compound Effect really talks about the importance of being consistent and how small daily actions and behaviors can really snowball. Again, I wish that was a book that I had read and as a new coach, because it was like, holy shit, if I'm really consistent with this, X will happen. And like it sometimes just takes having like a little knock over the head to be like, oh, okay. So the Compound Effect is a great one. I've also listened to the Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. Anything by Dave Ramsey and Grant Cardone, Darren Hardy are incredible. I know I'm throwing out a lot of names, but those are some top ones for me. What was another one that I wanted to highlight? Sorry, guys, I'm kind of jumping all over the place. I really enjoyed Girl Code by Kara Leba. I don't know how you say her name, but she kind of reminds me of a little bit of that feel of I Am That Girl. She had a little bit more of a storytelling. I really loved it, but I also would have preferred more from her as opposed to she does bring in other speakers. Anyways, I know we're about to get cut off, so anyways, just make sure to keep plugging in to whatever speaks to you, whatever you need, and that'll really fuel what PD you do. And I think Nicole and I will continue to share things that have or have not worked for us, and I hope you guys do the same. Anything else?
No.
All right. All right, guys. Well, I'll let you guys go since we're about to be cut off, but we'll see you next week, okay?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.